Clayton Kershaw is pretty good at throwing baseballs. After all, he's won 3 Cy Young Awards, an MVP, the pitching Triple Crown, been named to 8 All-Star teams, has 5 ERA titles, and he even won a Gold Glove Award. But the one thing that's eluded him is that coveted World Series trophy. And maybe Kershaw is to blame for the Dodgers' lack of a championship during his tenure in LA. At least, that's what the narrative surrounding him would have you believe. So let's look into that. My name is Bobby, and welcome back to another edition of Stat Stories. Since making his debut in 2008, Clayton Kershaw has been the best pitcher in the league in terms of run prevention. Out of pitchers with at least 1,000 innings pitched since 2008, Kershaw ranks first in ERA, first in FIP, and third in xFIP, behind Chris Sale and Steven Strasburg. He's also tops in batting average against, home runs allowed per 9, and WHIP, or walks plus hits per innings pitched. So however you want to draw it up, Kershaw is the best at keeping runners off base. Now, let's see how he fares in those same stats during the postseason. So the first thing that jumps out is that Kershaw's ERA is significantly higher, and it's also higher when compared to his FIP and xFIP for the postseason. I've explained FIP and xFIP previously, with the quick explanation is that they are more predictive run prevention metrics. Kershaw's regular season ERA is lower than his FIP and xFIP, so he's said to outperform those metrics. And this is usually true of the best pitchers because they excel at limiting hard contact and therefore don't allow as many hits or homers. But postseason Kershaw has an ERA higher than these metrics, which implies that he gets hit hard, and this is evidenced by a significantly higher home run rate. So just from these numbers, the narrative that Kershaw struggles in the postseason is true. For this next part, we're going to be using a stat called win probability added, which is best explained by examples. Let's say George Springer is leading off the game against Kershaw. Springer strikes out swinging. The Dodgers' chances of winning the game have increased very slightly as a result of this outcome, from 50% to 52%. So Kershaw gets 0.02 of win probability added, and Springer gets negative 0.02. If he were to hit a home run, then the Astros' chances of winning would go from 50% to around 60%. Basically, every event changes a team's chances of winning, and players are credited or debited accordingly. Now, there are a few things to know about win probability added. Hitting a home run in the first inning could sway the odds of winning by 10%, but hitting one in the 8th inning could sway things by 25% or more. It's a matter of high leverage, which is why batters who come up clutch late in games or relievers who close things down are rewarded in this stat. Starting pitchers, on the other hand, don't get the same love, and their WPA totals need to be taken with a grain of salt. For example, Kershaw's no-hitter in 2014 had a lower WPA than a complete game 3-hit 1-run performance he had a month later. This is because he allowed fewer base runners and therefore pitched in fewer high-leverage situations. Also, it seems that allowing 3 runs automatically gives you a negative score as a starter, even if you pitch a complete game. But for our purposes, we don't need to worry about that. So, on to Kershaw's postseason career. We're going to ignore 2008 and 2009, as this was before Kershaw was seen as an elite pitcher. Since 2013, he's had 27 pitching appearances, with 4 of them coming in relief. Using win probability added, Kershaw finished with a positive WPA in 16 of those appearances and a negative total in 11. So, 16 times, Kershaw increased the Dodgers' chances of winning, and 11 times, he hurt them. Now, some of these games were just marginally negative, like in 2017 when he allowed 2 earned runs over 5 innings pitched to the Cubs. He had a WPA of negative 0.004 in a game that the Dodgers would end up winning. So instead, let's look at games where Kershaw had a WPA of less than negative 0.2, which I considered to be the threshold for a bad outing, or one where Kershaw gave his team little chance to win. 8 of these 11 negative appearances fit this description, which I'll be referring to as clunkers. Let's put this into context. One of these 8 clunkers was a relief appearance that I'll touch on in a bit, so 7 of Kershaw's 23 starts in the postseason since 2013 fall into the clunker category. You know who else had 7 clunkers and 23 starts in 2019? Andrew Kashner. In other words, a back-of-the-rotation starter. Here's how many clunkers Kershaw's had in the regular season since 2013. Just 17 and 195 starts. It breaks down to a little over 2 per season, or 8.7% of all his starts. In the postseason, it's 30.4% of all his starts. Another important note on these poor starts is that 3 of them came with the Dodgers facing elimination. And if you include that relief appearance I mentioned, then half of Kershaw's postseason clunkers occurred when it mattered most. Now about that relief appearance. 2019 NLDS Game 5. Dodgers are leading 3-1 in the 8th with Kershaw on the mound. He allows back-to-back homers on 2 consecutive pitches, allowing the Nationals to tie the game and later win. This was the 5th time in his career that Kershaw allowed back-to-back homers. The first time it occurred was in 2017, which is pretty impressive. He went 10 years without allowing consecutive long balls. But allowing them on 2 consecutive pitches is something that has happened twice now, and both times were in the postseason. The first occurrence was against the D-backs in 2017, when Ketel Marte and Jeff Mathis, of all people, took him deep. So now for the bottom line. The narrative surrounding Clayton Kershaw's postseason performance is true. I really hope he can change that, but time is running out to do so. And it's not that Kershaw has been bad in every postseason appearance of his. He's actually had quite a few dominant performances. But when a pitcher of his caliber struggles when it matters most, time and time again, all that people will remember are the negatives. So thank you for watching. Please leave a like and share, and click subscribe to help this channel continue to grow and reach even more people. Comment below if you have suggestions for future videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.